Okay. Hey, Michelle, how's it going today?
Hey, Lindsay, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. We've been doing a lot of great recording this week, so
We
really
have.
excited. But Michelle, do you have a good sense of humor? Are you always laughing or making jokes?
Yes, I think I do have a good sense of humor. I love to laugh. I love to joke around. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so. What about you?
That's good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like someone that really tells jokes. I don't really know any jokes, but I definitely am pretty lighthearted a lot of times. And I like to laugh. It feels good to laugh, right? Like
Oh my
releases all these
gosh,
chemicals in the body. It's good. It's good.
it's the best. It's the best.
Yeah.
Do you ever laugh till you cry?
Oh yeah, for sure. I love that feeling. Well, in the
Yeah.
moment
Oh
it's
my
kind of
god.
painful, but then
Yeah, but it's the best. It's the best.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about a word that I've heard recently used as an expression, and it's no joke.
Yes,
Lindsay.
no joke. Yeah,
No joke.
I've heard this a lot lately in the last like 10 years or
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
So it's trending,
Yeah.
and we want to make sure we bring all the trending vocabulary to our listeners so they have modern
Yes.
English, right, Michelle?
Exactly. Yeah, it's not new. That's what's interesting about it. But for some reason, I've started to notice that it's popping up more. So you never. Sometimes it could just be a coincidence. Sometimes it could be that a trend is starting. But I have noticed that I have been hearing it. I always thought it was a little bit juvenile sounding,
Oh,
and it
really?
may be, but I've heard it in different contexts and on TV, and it's definitely worth bringing to our listeners' attention because you might hear it too, or you might decide to use it. What do you think, Lindsay?
I think it's important to know what it means too.
Exactly, yeah.
I used to have a friend in Boston who would always talk about different hikes. So we'd go hiking, and she would say, "Oh, that hike is no joke." Like
Yep,
she would
yep.
always say that, and
Yes.
so yeah, that meant you should probably take it seriously. Right.
Right.
Probably
Yep.
bring extra
Take it
water, extra
serious.
food. So it can be a safety thing sometimes. Right.
Exactly. That's true. So yeah, it means that you're telling the truth. You're not being funny. It may seem that you're being funny because something seems unlikely or shocking in some way.
Right.
So yeah, but it is true. We kind of hear it in two different kinds of contexts, and we're
Right.
going to talk about that in a second. But before we get into it a little more, we want to remind you guys to hit follow wherever you're listening to the All Ears English podcast.
Yeah, guys, hit the follow button. And if you're watching this over on YouTube, then hit subscribe. That would be the button you want to hit so you don't miss a single episode of our show. We do publish on YouTube 5 days a week. All right. Good stuff.
Exactly.
All right, Michelle. So, what are these different contexts or meanings of this no joke phrase?
Right, exactly. So, yeah, you might just hear someone say something shocking and then say no joke. So,
Yeah.
because it's almost like that person won't believe you. So you're trying to say, no, this is real, right?
Yeah. Take it seriously. You're kind of saying, like, take this seriously, right?
Right, exactly. So the snow hasn't even started to melt, and they already say another storm is coming next weekend. No joke.
That's kind of the winter you're having this year a little
Yes.
bit, isn't it? And it's also kind of is that what's going on in the Northeast? In the Northeast?
Yeah, well, that was at the time I planned this episode. That's exactly what was happening. We had a huge storm, and then they said, oh, there could be another one next weekend, but luckily it didn't happen. But now it's starting to warm up a little bit.
30 degrees? No way.
Yes, pretty much. I'm ready to go swimming. Yeah, it's today. I was like, wait a second, this
Yeah.
doesn't feel like I'm gonna die as much.
Yeah. There was one winter that was seriously no joke when I lived in Boston back in 2015, and it snowed every weekend. It started late in the year, but it started in February, but it snowed every weekend in February, and the snow piles melted by like July. It was wild.
That's.
It
I
was no
feel like
joke.
that's. Yeah, I feel like that's what's gonna happen with this because it's been so cold. I mean, you can still basically skate on the snow like ice, and
Yeah, that's insane.
yeah. So, or did you hear they lost by 30? No joke.
So it was a very decisive loss, right? Is what we're
Yes.
saying. Yep.
Or you wouldn't have expected them to lose that by that much.
Okay, yeah, it was something was drastic.
Yes.
Drastic, yeah. I got 2 TVs for the price of one. No joke. Meaning I got a great deal, right? So it could be
Yeah.
something positive, something negative, something drastic, something surprising, something dangerous, right, Michelle?
Yes. Right. Yes, exactly. And you can also change the position of where you put this. So you could say, I have every reason to believe, no joke, that you might be getting a huge raise.
Yeah. So how does it sound to you, Michelle?
I think it's pretty informal sounding. I mean, you want to consider, you can use it at work, but, it depends on the context, the company culture, how close you are to your colleagues. But I do want to highlight this other way that you've been mentioning it because I'm not sure if I really focused on this today. So to say something is no joke.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what is that? I mean, how is that it's a little different.
Well, we're just dropping, we're just adding the full sentence like that. That's how I normally hear it. That's no joke, or it is no joke, or that mountain is no joke. That hike is no joke. But you tend to just shorten it to no joke.
Right. Well, it's kind of a little bit different, right? Like in mine, it's saying something is shocking. Yours is saying, when you say something is no joke, it's how would you explain that? Like that hike is no joke, meaning it's serious. It's hard.
It's serious. Maybe some people might think they might not take it seriously. They might think it's no big deal, but once you get to it, it's actually really hard.
Right.
So but how's it different if I say like, that hike is no joke or it's no joke versus just saying no joke?
Well, I guess it's different than it. Like, okay, you could say, this is the toughest hike I've ever been on. No joke, right?
Yeah, sure.
So it's not totally different in meaning necessarily. No. It's just different how you would use it. Yep. I'm thinking, okay, if I said, we're recording a lot of episodes, right, Lindsay? I could say our recording sessions are no joke. I don't mean that they're not funny. I mean that they're,
of course,
they're substantial, right?
The idea of funny is not real. It doesn't really apply as my
right. It's not about It's not about like a typical haha joke. I'm not trying to say. I'm not actually talking about haha jokes.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I think in terms of using this at work, I think it could be okay. Obviously, if you are reviewing results of your company and maybe your manager's there and the results aren't good, it might be looked at as you're not taking things seriously. If you say, "Oh, we lost a lot of money last year," no joke, right? I mean, that's very, it might be disrespectful or something, right?
Right. Or even let's say you're applying to jobs and you get to some application and it's really extensive and it's just a lot of information you have to put in. You might say to someone, "Oh my gosh, this job application is no joke," right?
Yeah. Or if you have to go in and do like a demonstration or a presentation, if you get to the final round, you could say that what they put me through was no joke, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So it's really interesting. So let's talk about some other words that we can use that are similar. So the first one would be seriously. And we've talked a lot about this word before, but thousands of episodes ago. So here we go. I'm taking the first train out tomorrow. Seriously.
Or this was only $5.99. Seriously. Right? So you're just saying like, it's the same thing. You're saying the same thing. Take this seriously. Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
Or I'm not kidding. Right? Cheryl told us to leave
Cheryl
at 3.
again.
Cheryl told us to leave at 3. I'm not kidding.
Right? Or you have to be quiet now. I'm not kidding. So this could be a little bit more serious too.
Or this isn't even a real diamond. I'm not kidding. Right? So love it. So there are a few other ways. I mean, maybe not as trendy as no joke, right? But there's other ways to say it for sure. All right. And then another way, Michelle, would be I mean it. I mean it.
Yeah.
Yes.
She confessed to messing up my project. I mean it.
Mm-hmm. Or we have to leave now. I mean it. You might say this to your kids if you're trying to get them out the door. Right? They're not taking you seriously.
I mean it.
Mm-hmm. Sure. What else?
Or finally, we have no lie. So this is very similar to no joke, right? Mm-hmm. The traffic is crazy. No lie. Be careful.
Yeah. Or I made the soccer team. No lie. Right? I don't really say that myself, but I guess some people do for sure. Everyone has their own style. right?
Exactly. Like, so, again, like I said, some of these are a little bit more childish sounding. Some are more trendy, like, for example, saying something is no joke. Oh, this hike is no joke.
Yeah.
To me is even though you're still saying no joke, it's still a little bit more elevated sounding than, oh, this hike is tough, no joke, right?
Okay.
It's like, that's just how it sounds to me. Maybe it's just my opinion.
Yeah, interesting. Michelle, why would you say that this is a connection skill? I mean, what are we doing? We're essentially, on the connection level, we're kind of warning people that this is a serious thing, that we should give this a serious look, whatever we're embarking on, right?
Right. That, or just whatever is shocking to you is true. I'm telling you something shocking, but it's real.
It's actually true.
Yeah. So it's sometimes we really need to convey this kind of message.
Or maybe you want to prevent someone from asking you, are you joking? Are you kidding? So instead you front load that and you say, this person cheated on that person. No joke, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So it's just a really good short expression to use to show that something is real.
Yeah,
really, that's what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. Well said. Michelle, let's do a role play today. You ready?
All right, here we go. So we are longtime friends and we are catching up over coffee.
All right.
This is the best coffee in the city. No lie.
Okay, I'll try it. You're not kidding.
So how's everything with Pauline?
I haven't talked to her since her divorce. No joke.
Wow, that's unbelievable. She's always She's always been hard to get in touch with. Seriously.
Definitely. I hear she may be moving overseas.
What?
I'm not kidding. All right. Okay. So we used a few of them here, right? Yeah. So again, it's just asserting that what you've said should be listened to, should be taken seriously, right? Yeah. And you said this is the best coffee in the city. No lie. I mean, you could have just said this is the best coffee in the city and not said anything else. That would have been just fine, right?
Right. Exactly. This is just a little bit playful.
Yeah.
A little emphatic. You feel really excited about this coffee, and you want, and I feel excited about the coffee, and I want you to know that.
Yeah, exactly. And then I said, okay, I'll try it. And then I try it. I say, you're not kidding. Right.
So instead of I'm not kidding, you could also say you're not kidding. It means, okay, I believe you now. Yes. You were not joking, right?
Yes.
And then we talk about our friend and you said, I haven't talked to her since her divorce. No joke. So sounds like that's been a long time or, just surprising because maybe you normally talked to her a lot.
Right. And then I said, I haven't talked to her since her divorce, no joke. And you said, wow, that's unbelievable. She's always been hard to get in touch with. Seriously. So it's just a way of kind of emphasizing what you've just said. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it was interesting. And then you said, definitely, here she may be moving overseas. And I said, what? And you said, I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if this is really necessary and if it sort of like... Sometimes I feel like the more words we say, the less value there is on each word. Like with this last line, she's always been hard to get in touch with. Seriously. I mean, does it devalue what you've just said? She's always been hard to get in touch with in a way. Do you know what I mean, it's just,
yeah. Sometimes less is more. I agree.
Sometimes less is more.
But at the same time,
it's socializing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like I think that we do just kind of sprinkle these in, and again, it shows your personality, right?
It shows your personality. Yes.
Maybe if that's just how you're feeling like talking in that moment and you're expressing yourself. So we have so many more ways to do it, but I do agree. Like sometimes it's better to be more succinct and not add extraneous words. But
like maybe at work, for example, or maybe well, obviously we're not talking about, this is not presentation language, right? This is not on stage language.
No,
obviously.
No.
Okay. This is having coffee with a friend, having brunch with a friend. And so when we do want to sound a little more articulate, maybe more professional, we're probably not going to be using these because you're emphasizing, you're going a little over the top in saying what you're saying, right?
Exactly. And we don't always need to do that. Sometimes we can just be, just stand in what we actually said and don't need to add anything. So, something to consider, you want to use these all the time, but certainly things like, oh, you're not kidding when, about the coffee, like that's expressing something, that's connecting. So, so always, I think everything in moderation. That's what I think.
That's a good, including coffee, right?
Yeah, really. No.
Love it. All right, guys, go over to 2581. Go wild with this trending English word, another trending vocabulary episode. Go and check that out right now. And Michelle, I think we already talked about the connection piece here, what this does and how it builds connection. So I think we can wrap it up for today. All right.
Let's wrap it up. All right, Lindsay. I think we're ready to go. No joke.
No joke. All right. You have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye.